To the final video on how to put together your multimedia portfolio for Stage 6 Industrial Technology. Alright, so the final evaluation is a huge section because there's an entire section of the portfolio on just evaluation of your project, okay? So this is the main one, and if you've been following my series, you'll have probably 50, 60 smaller evaluations throughout your project. So you're already doing pretty good. But the markers may not read those verbatim. They'll probably skim through them and you'll already be getting maybe like an A for that section if you do it the way that I told you to, okay? But this one's the big one. This is the last thing they're gonna read. They're definitely gonna read this and you're gonna leave them with it, okay? So the first thing you need to understand is it needs to relate directly back to your statement of intent that you wrote 80 some pages ago, as well as your criteria for success. So you talk about your statement of intent and how it's changed. Have you actually done what you intended to do? So that's what the statement of intent is. It's what I intended to make. So you look back at it and go, just how close to it was I in the end? Did I do what I wanted to do? So you've got your evaluation in reference to the statement of intent here. This one's probably the best one. So I'll use this as an example, but I'll use other ones as well. So he's done an evaluation and then he's evaluated his evaluation, which is fun. You know, we're really getting Inception-y there. This one here has done a final evaluation in, we're talking about some of the things she did in her statement of intent, but also the things that she did in her criteria for success. So this one is probably not wordy enough if I'm being honest, but I really do like the pictures. So she talks about her criteria for success and talks about sort of with image reference if she did what she wanted to or not. So for some, there's positives and there's negatives. So she's like, in some ways I did it, in some ways I didn't, and then there's a final overall sort of comment on it. With this one, we reference our statement of intent here, then we've got our criteria for success here, we've got a clip-based evaluation, so this is a nice one. They decided to go into different actual parts of the animation and look at different scenes, so their favorite scenes, and that's a nice way to kind of like really pump it up and make it look really exciting. This one here, so we've got some positives and negatives in terms of the project proposal, and then an overall evaluation at the end, and a nice little screenshot there. This one here, we've got a statement of intent reference, so we've evaluated on that, so she's done very accurately. And a nice little thing here is she's done colors where she's done well and highlighted and bolded it, and then where she feels somewhat successful, she's given herself an orange and a red. So she's graded herself within it and then given a summary. A summary is really nice here, okay? With this one here, he's just done a straight page evaluation. And this is what I kind of don't want you to do. Although the information is fine here, the information is perfectly adequate, you can kind of tell that this was done within the last minute. And I know this was done within the last minute because I know the student that did it. But it's just a couple of paragraphs that they've smashed in there at the last second. What you really want to have is something as crazy as this, okay? So we've got an evaluation as the statement of intent. Then we've got our criteria for success with an evaluation of each one. So is it original? So in terms of idea and plot, it's 100% unique in his opinion, but he has not successfully completed the original criteria for success because he doesn't feel like it integrates the music well enough. Time, no. Okay, so he said he has a lot of problems and all of that sort of stuff, okay? CGI, that he didn't do it. He's also evaluated in terms of his limitations, which I think is quite nice. He's really gone into a lot of depth here. And even then, he's done a scene-by-scene evaluation with an evaluation on that. So that's really cool. So you can see that he's not happy with scene 3, but he really likes scene 1 and 2. And then that's the end of his portfolio. So this student actually did the best in the class, the ones in terms of his portfolio, but this student that did the superhero movie finished first overall in our school, just so you know. But looking at this one, so the one about superheroes and the one about Star Wars, that might be what you would want to choose to base your work on. But in the end, every portfolio has kind of shown you that they've all sort of used the same information and presented it in different ways. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I hope that it helps anyone out there to put together their industrial technology multimedia portfolio. Thanks for listening.